Breaking news out of southern Wisconsin, where a man has been shot execution style while filling up his car at a gas station.
The suspect then opened fire at a second gas station, but an undercover officer fired back there, killing that gunman. The officer was also wounded. WGN's Patrick Elwood is live in Franksville, Wisconsin with the latest. Pat?
Ray and Micah, good evening to you. Investigators still very much trying to figure out the motive of the gunman, the suspect, who was eventually shot dead. But to sum up the Racine County Sheriff's feelings today, if it were not for one of his deputies, things could have been much worse.
A 32-year-old white male from Heartland approached a 22-year-old white male from Elkhorn who was...
Oh. So you can tell us the race. That's interesting. Immediately we get the race. And listen, I have no problem with this, given the race. Just do it across the board. And listen, I get it. If a group commits 75-80% of said crime, yeah, there's going to be a stereotype about that group. There's going to be a stereotype about that group. Period. And yes, if you are wokey woke, you can think that if every night on the news, every crime, every brazen crime that shocks the community and makes the community feel unsafe and just makes people aghast and clutch their pearls, if every time we have to show or say the person's race is a black person, that yes, if I'm wokey woke, I can see that how that could be problematic. And there's really no solution to it. Nothing can be done. It's not like saying that will shame them into stop doing it. You just basically there's nothing that can be done about that situation. It's just going to go on. That's just the way they are. It's just the way that is. It's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Then yeah, I get it. I get it for the wokey wokesters on that tip. But there's so much that's done in the media to help black people and hide the fact that some people commit the majority of the crime. Whenever I'm doing videos and I look for pictures to put in my videos and pictures to make my thumbnails, it's very apparent that there is agenda to hide the fact that some people commit so much crime. Okay, so here we are. I've Googled the term robbers, and I'm looking for pictures because there was a story I'm doing, and a Sun Man is the robber. And I just want, some pictures to, color and to, provide context and for my video, to put into my video when I'm editing it. Look at every robber that the pictures or the stock photos that they have, the pictures they have. You notice something about every one of the pictures of the robbers? With the exception of this one, which is just a real robbery. But you could have 1 million of those pictures could have come up in this. Look at this. Look. You Google robber, look what comes up. Okay? All right? These are the stock photos they have for robbers. Carjacking, which we know. Like, even if you don't subscribe to this channel, just if you just a person who just, like, you've been conscious of it, you've been awake for the last, year. You know that this is a son teen crime. This is a crime dominated by son teens. Look at the stock photos we see for this. If I'm looking for a picture of a carjacker, look what I get. And we know who's doing the carjacking. Like, it's not even like that. Like, even if you want to say everybody kills. We know who does carjackings. I can't find a stock photo of a black carjacker. There's not one. Now listen, I've been making videos for 4 or 5 years. I'm 5,000 videos deep into my YouTube career. So if you want to argue with me about this or act like this, what I'm doing right now is the whole breadth, I'm just showing you an example. I got 4 or 5 years of experience with this. Okay? The only pictures they have of carjackings that involve son teens are actual surveillance pictures of actual carjackings. And then they won't show you, but the algorithm will only show a certain few of those. But the pictures, the stock photos that they use to, for magazine articles and people to use for different purposes, all of those, the carjacker's white, the robber's white. So there's tons of So there's tons of stuff that the mainstream media, Google included, does to make sure that, black people aren't stereotyped. So if there's a crime spree going on, a bunch of son teens have are going on a crime spree, you can tell us the race of the people that have carjacked 5 people in the last 2 days in this part of town. You can tell us the race, along with the other descriptors, their weight, their size, their height, what clothes they're wearing. You don't have to tell us everything about them except for their race, because there's so much other stuff in this world that's hiding and basically just like, it's actually criminal the way they're deceiving us about the level of crime committed by a certain group. So there's so much deception going on that the news media should be able to tell us the race of a perp or a suspect or a wanted suspect without feeling like they're proliferating a stereotype.
A 32-year-old white male from Heartland approached a 22-year-old white male from Elkhorn who was simply putting gas in his car and was viciously executed.
Racine County, Wisconsin Sheriff Christopher Schmalling describing what happened at the Pilot Travel Center, a popular gas station and convenience store. The time was 7:30 this morning. After firing at and missing another person, that gunman drove off. His next and final stop was a mobile gas station about 2 miles away, where he approached with gun drawn an undercover sheriff's deputy who had just started his shift. The deputy, a 21-year law enforcement veteran, drew fast, and the two exchanged shots. The suspect was hit several times and killed. The deputy was also shot and hospitalized with what is described as a non-life-threatening wound.
It should be noted, ladies and gentlemen, this is 7:30 in the morning at this mobile station. It was bustling with activity, people getting their gas and people getting their morning cup of coffee. There is no doubt in my mind the quick and heroic actions of our investigator saved lives today.
This gentleman was at the first gas station, the Pilot, thankful, you bet he is, to escape unharmed.
I don't know, it was a sigh of relief that I happened to leave right before, like a sign from God or something, but I'm just glad I left before everything happened.
So no names being released this evening, but again, they are trying to figure out a motive, no doubt, presumably going through his phone records, his computer records, to see if there's any kind of indication of what set this guy off this morning. Reporting for Southern Wisconsin in Franksville, Patrick Elwood, WGN News. Ray and Micah, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Patrick.